Even in Toronto University, a copy.
Toronto University. Now recently we are sending it to USA. So the journal of no use for you.
Yeah.
So that this way.
And I see that
if we can continue this journey.
So what you see here is 4 years of work, right? Which is 4 magazines titled Cartoonists India, published by the Indian Institute of Cartoonists.
This is the latest one?
Yes, this is the latest one. A year before that, and a year before that, and then there's the first one. And this
is the editor,
and we're talking to the editor of the magazine. So Bibek, 4 years of hard work as an editor. Tell us how this all began. What was the inspiration for this? And narrate some of the challenges and and how did you go about overcoming it?
Who has proposed this one?
Yeah, let's begin from there.
Yeah, so the question itself is a hard one. So I'll tell you some background about this.
Yeah.
So initially, like any other cartoonist, I was invited to the Indian Institute of Cartoonists to exhibit my work. And obviously, since I was also following the cartoons, collecting the books, reading, and was interested to see the work, I slowly got into started interacting with Mr. Narendra, and then I saw there lots of cartoonists. Like I had never even heard of their names, and I was actually telling about I grew up in Kolkata, and a place where the cartooning during the colonial era began.
Yeah.
So it has a rich history. But surprisingly, when I was talking about that, I realized that they're not even aware of those names.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm also not aware of some of the legendary cartoonists who worked here, right here in Karnataka. Then I thought there is some kind of a disconnect, and I realized that when cartooning started in India, that created lots of pockets, and those indigenous cartoonists, they come over and they started drawing the cartoons mainly in the regional languages. So if you see in Kolkata or in Kerala, there are lots of cartoonists they came over the years. They did exceedingly good job. But some of the books are written on them, but on the regional languages. Those books are available, not all, but few are still available. But again, even if I bring a book from Kolkata, I can gift it to Indian Institute of Cartoons, but I won't be able to read. Right. At the same time, if you have anything in other languages, in Kannada or Tamil or Malayalam or something, we have lots of books we have in our gallery. Even you have seen those. Again, we can just browse through the book, but you cannot appreciate that. So there are some examples. Maybe I was talking about the Gaganendranath. He was we normally consider him as a pioneer of modern cartooning in India.
So which era are we talking about?
So it is sometime 1917 when he published his first book. He actually published 3 books. So you can find more details in our latest edition.
Yeah.
So the formative years of Indian cartooning. So that
Lakshman was not even born.
No, not even born. So that is a time it is actually an important era that cartooning started. Cartoon is already published. It was 1872 that the first cartoon published in the Indian newspaper. Yeah. And during that time, Gaganendranath was there. So from the Tagore family, he was the nephew of great Rabindranath Tagore. Yeah. So he set up his lithograph machine at his house, and he started having this cartoon. But lots of those satirical cartoons, these are the original prints in color.
So and they're all in regional language.
Or the regional language.
So it's only for the Bengalis.
Incidentally, this book, the 3 book he published, it was bilingual.
Okay.
So that those books are like
of
very very rare.
of
You
print.
cannot find those books. Then some of the cartoonists and researchers. This book was also edited by Chondilai. He himself was a cartoonist and researcher. But again, it is in Bengali.
Yeah.
So you can see in we have the context. We have the annotations for each of these cartoons.
Yeah.
But even if I gift this book, it's of no use for you.
Yeah.
So that the same time, if you see, there is another book which you see here that recently published
Yes.
by Mr. Naganath, who
Yes.
actually covered
Yes.
all the contemporary Karnataka cartoonist, and it actually has a nice. It's a nice.
Can you flip a few, please?
Directory where you can see all the practicing cartoonists.
Yeah.
But again, like all this biography, everything is in
Kannada. So you need to know Kannada to read it.
It's a fantastic collection. So good to have it. But in case I take it to some other place, again there will be a language barrier. At the same time, we know that Kerala, that's the birthplace of many legendary cartoonists.
Yes.
There are lots of books. I have some of the books. So even if I cannot read. But I collected those books. So like cartooning, like in their art, their culture, their literature, cartooning is a big thing there.
Absolutely.
So Kerala is always the birthplace of many legendary cartoonists, starting from Shankar to O.V. Vijayan to even Ajit Naina and Kutti,
Abu Abraham.
Abu Abraham,
Correct,
so you name it. So again, like there are nice, there are lots of like a collection of essays which I wanted to read. Again, like I have to use those current technologies like Google Lens or something to read this. Now then I thought like again when we had this exhibition of a Bangla cartoon, then I just wanted to show you those cartoons which you can actually easily relate. There are some cartoons which are very much like regional. Only a Bengali can know, and those colloquial language, the meaning of that.
Right.
Again, that is a challenge.
Right.
So we can do it in Kolkata, but not here.
Yeah.
So here we have to show like how that time those cartoonists actually did lots of like things based on the global and the national level things. So I just collected those cartoons and I did it in English. And then I realized, that's the outcome which was published in this book.
Yeah.
So at least like it broke that language barrier. So I actually, my target was the wider audience.
Right.
So that who doesn't know about the rich history of the Bengali cartoons, at least they can get at least a book which they can actually glimpse of that.
So basically go beyond Lakshman, beyond Shankar, right?
So doing that, like I actually interacted with some of the people, like those researchers and the authors. They actually wrote this book. They spent their life. So here we are introducing the cartoonist, right? But that is another opportunity to bring all these researchers and authors together, so that they should come to this one common platform, and whatever they wrote in the regional language can actually write it in one common language, can be appreciated by all. So that was the idea that I actually proposed this, like why not we can have our one publication. So that time we never thought that it will be kind of an annual, but one book where we can actually cover the regional cartoon history. And that was the idea, that Cartoonist India was our domain name. So we said like why not we can use the same name, and we can it's difficult to have a book, but we can do it kind of a magazine or a journal. And that's why we chose our first topic, the cover story as the regional cartoon. So we chose the 7 pockets, starting with Hindi, Bengali, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Marathi. So that's how we started. Now every issue you can find, we covered one states, like last the second issue we covered Uriya cartoons. So then again like they're doing lots of things, like lots of Uriya cartoons are there. So they wrote about Uriya cartoon, how it actually took shape. And now what are the cartoonists, who are the cartoonists who are currently working on there. So last issue, issue number 3, we covered the Jammu Kashmir. This time we covered the North Indian belt, the Hindi speaking belt. It covers I think several states there. So that is one of the idea that when we started Cartoonist India, that we should cover at least one part of India, how the cartoon culture started, whether they have only some cartoonists or they have a history of cartoons from the past.
Yeah.
At least we try to cover, and so that we can get an idea. And that's why like it should go with the name Cartoonist India.
Yeah.
So we are not like very regional. Rather, we should know like so every corner of the country. How
And on the other hand, you're not just publishing any cartoon as such. It's a well-researched material.
Yeah.
And it should have a depth.
For every issue, like we normally check like if that year is significant for something, if there are any known cartoonists that are celebrated, or the legendary cartoonists who is celebrating their birth centenary. Obviously, that like takes the priority, that we should actually
Cover them.
And we should have a proper tribute by the person who knew the person closely, like
authentic, basically.
Authentic thing. So it's very important that like whenever we are covering this thing, so we just wanted to make it more authentic, so that we reach out to the right person. It was never like it was actually a curated magazine. It was not like open for everyone to submit their article and we'll collect it. Rather, we select the topic, then we identify who's the right person, then we reach out to that person. We just explain that like we wanted to cover this way.
And I see that every magazine has something on R.K. Lakshman, so you still haven't gotten to the depth of that cartoonist.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You don't know many things
Absolutely.
about him.
And you cannot cover it in one article. So that is the even, so like there are different aspects, different like layers are there. So we just wanted to reach out to the right person, like who can actually narrate that thing, can explain, can analyze those work. So that is how we normally plan. So for every issue we just choose like why for this year what are the things which are important. Then of course one section about the history. Then in this section, especially in our last issue, we know that like not all the cartoonists are interested in history.
Yeah.
Some are actually the caricaturists, they only draw caricatures. So we should actually bring those people together. So they just wanted to see some good art. Right.
So theme-based.
Theme-based. Yeah. So in that case, like we thought, like why not we can invite the senior and junior practicing caricaturists, so from different parts of India who are like excelled in their area. Some veteran ones who used to do it in a very traditional way, while the contemporary one who are doing it in digitally. So they can actually talk about the tips and tricks of the caricature art.
Okay.
The philosophy behind that. So caricature is not just an art, so they have their thought process behind that. So we just started a new section as kind of a masterclass, so that it would be beneficial for the aspiring budding caricaturists, as well as like for all the cartoonists like us. So to know from the masters. So that is one chapter that we started, and we invited.
That's the five, right? That's the one, right?
So five caricaturists from 5 different states.
So that's Anup Ray and Prabhakar, Vairkar, Shankar, Parmathi and Sparsh
Dharwal and Samadip Sinha. So 5 from Kolkata, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai and Chennai. So we
bring them together.
So it's very difficult to bring them together to conduct a masterclass. Well, why not we can conduct a masterclass to this magazine? That's an experiment that we did. So now we released it last week. I'm sure that it will start reaching to those readers and the cartoonists, and we'll get some feedback. We'll come to know that if it is there, because this is another thing that I've seen in UK. There are lots of cartoonists that took that initiative to speak with their peers, the contemporary cartoonists, about their way of working. So those things actually documented in form of books. So we know like when we see one cartoonist is talking about the other cartoonist, the caricaturist, their way of working. So we thought like that is actually a good idea. Like instead of doing it in a standalone format, why not like we can bring some people together. So they're different on their own way of their own style. So they can actually give their ideas, thoughts, what to do, what not to do.
Great.
So that is something. So that is an idea. Maybe I'll also, if we see it generate interest, we can continue.
That's great. Yeah. So I think this Cartoonist India magazine covers features. It covers tributes to the stalwarts. There are some memoirs written by some eminent artists. You also covered history, as you talked about, and few anecdotes and masterclass. And there are some interviews and exhibitions as well. So it
And
kind
some
of
also like we reproduce some of the old articles.
Old
We
articles.
thought that like this is a very interesting one. It actually captured some part of the history,
yeah.
and those magazines and books are no more available. So we got those necessary
Amazing.
necessary that consent from the cartoonist family. So again, like publishing is another thing.
Yeah.
Getting a permission from the thing, that is also important.
The challenge that
But
you have.
we got a steadfast like support from the cartoonist family all over India. So they helped us to do that.
Great.
And among all the 4 issues, which one is the most satisfying thing or very worth?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
The next one. Next year.
It's always the next one.
Next one.
So
Not,
so
and this also goes to abroad also, I think.
yeah, like
How
now
many 1,000 copies you are publishing?
yeah, 1,000 copies.
The copy has gone to various libraries in UK, Europe, Canada, America as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now in British Cartoon Archive and the Cartoon Museum, they have the copies.
Even in the Toronto University, a copy
Toronto
is
University.
there.
Now recently we are sending it to USA.
USA.
So the
This is the only
journal of
one annual issue coming from India.
so far at least when you are talking about the when is this just a second.
This
Yeah,
is the only one book from India.
No, there are some cartoon magazines out there, so which is regularly they're publishing it, but they're publishing cartoons. So we just don't want to bring another cartoon magazine. So just to make it clear to our viewers that this is not a cartoon magazine. So we are not only publishing cartoons, rather our idea, our focus is basically to document the rich history, the heritage, and the chronology of Indian cartooning. So those things were never documented, and we are trying to reach out to those senior veteran cartoonists to generate
I
that.
observed you have maintained a unique style of this photo. This one, the resolution is something different. I observed.
No, whenever we are publishing something, any publication, we have to just maintain that high resolution thing. But sometimes we got very old, very rare cartoons where the resolution is a challenge. But we somehow manage, we have to edit, we have to restore some of the cartoons. Especially I was talking about a nice story about how we acquire some of very rare Basu Chatterjee's cartoons.
Yes.
So everyone know about him as a famous film director.
Yes.
Filmmaker, but nobody knows that before coming to the filmmaking, he was a cartoonist. He was a full-time cartoonist, and he was Abu's contemporary that time in Blitz magazine. But if you find you won't find any of his cartoons anywhere. So then we started looking for those cartoons. So I reached out to some of the cartoonists who knows the history in staying in Mumbai. He found one person he has a collection of very old old Blitz tabloids issues, maybe some special issues he has in his collection. While browsing through those old papers, we found 1 or 2 Basu Chatterjee cartoons. So from there we got it. So that's how if you see these cartoons, every cartoon has its own story, how we actually got it.
Yeah.
Some we got it easily, the books are available. For some we actually reach out, we found their family members. Even I also personally visited some of the people in Delhi, in Mumbai.
Do you have to make a plan to Cartoon India's to Cartoonist world?
No, it will be Cartoonist India, because now we are actually started expanding our horizons. So it's this particular issue marked is foray into the global landscape. So we started including what's happening out there. So me staying in UK, I'm seeing some of the events. I was part of those, even visited some of the countries. So I started including those so that we can at least get a kind of a global landscape and think how it is perceived.
You basically need to know the backbone of the because the cartoon itself, it has come from abroad. Right?
How it is perceived today.
It has come from there and it has developed over here over the years. So from that perspective, it makes sense.
We are actually having an international section. So every issue will have something something so that you can get an idea about a country or some of what is happening out there, or any of the major cartoonist centenary is observed. At least we are having some report there. So any magazine, any main event which took place, we just wanted to have some report there so that you can get a complete.
Economically viable. Yes.
It's difficult to say, but again, I just wanted to thank Indian Institute of Cartoonists showing that interest, and with all this guidance and support from Mr. Narendra, we at least started doing this. I'm sure it is very difficult to sustain a magazine of this quality. But again, we tried to make the price nominal, so that it is a non-profit organization, as you all know. So we are not there to profit. We are not a publisher. We just wanted to make it nominal so that it can easily reach out to the enthusiasts and the researchers, especially the researchers. They don't get any ready-made material. At least if that can help them.
This book is available through Amazon?
No. Now Blossom is actually helping us because we don't have any logistical support there. That's why we gave it to Blossom and some other bookstores in Bangalore. So they are helping us to send the books to all over India.
All over India.
Route through Amazon?
Maybe in future we have to check, because now we are busy in the exhibition, and also we don't have a proper infrastructure. As you know, that to run a magazine you have to have a proper team, infrastructure, the distribution, everything, like logistics. We don't have that. So our main idea is to have this exhibition and doing this Maya Kamath Memorial Award.
There was a magazine called Wisecrack.
No, Witty World.
Witty World is there from Joe Sabo. In India, Wisecrack was one magazine.
Okay. There are some magazine were there, after Shankar's Weekly. Of course, Shankar's Weekly was a pioneer, but there are other magazine, even on many event-based magazines are also there. Even you are talking about Shanku. Shanku also did one magazine, Humor India. So that was also there. So he also did some interviews, but it was not a regular one. So we tried to start with this one. Every time I know maybe this is the last one, but somehow we again we see the interest. Mr. Narendra, myself, we are constantly getting a message whether this December we'll have a new issue. That actually very encouraging and motivating us.
And you also realize that you haven't covered something. And there's something more to cover, right?
Everything. Every time we do, and we realize that, okay, this part, even one topic has, as I mentioned, in one topic there are many layers.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you covered Gujarat.
Of course, Gujarat, even Rajasthan, even many cartoonists, even Sudhir Telang is from Rajasthan. But there are lots of other cartoonists out there.
Correct.
So if we can sustain, if we can continue this journey, so far we have lots of support from the fraternity. Maybe many cartoonists we have not covered so far. Maybe we'll be covering. We'll cover some of the other states as well. So if it is still viable, if we can still continue this, I'm sure we can cover some more, and it will be there forever. We are trying such a way that all the issues will be available. Even you are new to this, you only came to know about this magazine, at least you can reach out to Blossom for all the 4 volumes. It's kind of we are trying to make it kind of an anthology, so that all the 4 volumes will be available, so that you can collect those.
So, dear viewers, this was Bibek Sen Gupta, the editor of Cartoonists India, and this is the latest Cartoonists in the magazine which has come from Indian Institute of Cartoonists. I would urge all the viewers to grab a copy of this and subscribe to this channel and watch out for future editions. What you saw today in this series was the brain and the mind behind an editor, and the effort it takes to come up with this kind of a work and keep it authentic and keep it valuable. So I hope you all will really enjoy and share this with your family and friends, and they can relish it as well. Thank you.
He is the editor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.